evening and welcome to the November 6th Budget Committee meeting. Tonight's agenda, we are looking at road commissioner and per highways. We had some others that we were going to go over tonight, but they're not here. So, Rick.
Richardson, Road Commissioner. We started off the year a little bit behind. The paving on the Rangy Road came in a little higher than what was carried over. They carried over $54,000 and the final tally on the bill is $71,670.25. There's also 47 new homes, according to the code enforcement officer last year, and he expects it to be at least that number and maybe more this year. So with that being said, that's a huge impact on the town, the roads, and other departments too. I put this increase in here as a guideline of what's to come for next year. So if you have any input or concerns or questions, please you can go over it, talk about it, whatever you see fit. We've gone through, as far as the road signs go, as you can see in the paperwork that Julie gave me, we're way over on signs due to quite a few new roads that were opened up. And Stan, the code enforcement officer, keeping me well informed on what's going on and what needs to be done as far as the safety part goes, besides riding around, observing all the new roads. The intersection on Emery Corner Road, Quarry Road, and Pickle Pond Road, that ate up quite a bit of the budget, even though we had some help with the new LED lights on the signs. The town still had to pay for all the signs, preparing the traffic to stop. New traffic patterns, the stop signs warning people ahead of time that there's been a change. The hazardous trees is a big concern, not just for myself, but a lot of other people in town that travel these roads. 2 years ago, that April storm damaged a lot of trees, and now that those trees that are damaged are dead, and every time we have a windstorm, like Tuesday and Thursday, we're out picking tree branches up in the road, and CMP, very good friends with a lot of the line workers, so they'll call and say, you know, we've got a power outage and there's a tree in the road, so the fire department gets notified, I get notified, so we go out and try to all work together and get that cleaned up. So that's why there's a pretty good increase on that. The line striping is a safety issue, and I'd like to see more striping done, and I'd like to get on the bandwagon a little sooner next year than later.
Was there any striping done last year? Because it doesn't look like any money was spent out of the 10,000.
I thought there was some striping done. I didn't check with Scott, see if he had anything.
Because it,
Did it carry the 10,000 over?
yeah, well, the unexpended balance says 11.6 says $10,000.
Did you do any of this year? We haven't done any this
yeah.
year. You did?
Yep, we did Dole's Ridge Road, New Dam Road,
Okay.
You striped it? Did we get bills?
Not yet.
Oh, okay, so it made.
All right, well, that's, okay, there's the
No.
problem.
Okay.
All right.
We did it last Thursday night from 9 o'clock to 2:30 in the morning.
All right, well, that's why you gotta, nothing's been expended.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So it's just waiting to come out.
He said, Matt from Poria Guidelines, the bill won't be right off the bat. So he's a little slow getting the bills out, but I asked him to please at least
Well, yeah,
email me
ask
a
him-
copy or email the town a copy, so you would have it.
Well, yeah, get it before the end of December.
Well, yeah, I hope so.
So I'm just saying, see, then
Absolutely.
it just doesn't create, I mean, right now, this looks like
Right.
our paper haven't expended anything out of
Mhm.
there. That's all. Yeah.
We had some help with the mowing beside the road. I had Scott give me a hand on that. The last bill just came in. I think that was, that came in a little over what we had budgeted for last, well, the 25 season. The culverts, we haven't, I have a list that I will be getting culverts ready for the following year. We had a pretty good season this year. We only put in a few, and a couple of those were actually left over from the year before. So we lucked out there. The year coming up, like I said, me and Stan, we take a ride around town quite often. With the new subdivisions coming up, or proposed subdivisions, there's gonna be a lot more as far as the culvert repairs go and the heavy equipment and light-duty equipment goes. So we're gonna have to get prepared for that. There's a slight increase on the aggregate. So far, we haven't used all that up. We just went out and did Stone Hill Road and did all the driveway entrances after the paving was done.
Have those bills gone in?
No, that would be next week.
Okay.
Yeah. The hot top and cold patch, we're looking for a small increase on that because cold patch is very expensive. So we lean more towards hot top because it's more cost effective, and if we can get the project we're working on or the patching, if there's an area in town that needs, whether it's broken asphalt or something like that, if we can get it prepared, because the hot top cools off pretty quick when you're using it. So we're leaning more towards hot top than cold patch, but we usually try to keep cold patch on hand. I know it sounds crazy, but we keep a pile in the garage for winter time, so if there's any potholes over the winter, the garage is heated so we can grab a couple wheelbarrows and put it in the truck and go take care of that and try to keep up with it. Are there any questions about the increase on this? Or any of the categories here? I know it is quite a bit of an increase considering, well, we're trying to play catch up a little bit slowly but surely here.
On the paving, is that, have those contracts already been, like,
We haven't got the final bill for Stone Hill Road yet.
okay.
That would be,
But for the ones you're looking to do in 2026,
I mean, it jumped 100,000.
is that, have the contracts already been, like, negotiated or whatever you do with
No.
contracts? Or Or is that just like a ballpark?
We ha-
The 400,000?
That is if we can, we're trying to get the paving caught up. They carried over money, like I said, 54,000 from last year to finish Range E Road, which was a big help. And we had to use a little bit of that because the bill came in higher, like I said, which is understandable.
Okay.
The Stone Hill Road project, 11,450 feet, they'll be billing us $110,034.70. That's what the bid came in on that road. And the shoulder gravel would be $72.50. No, excuse me, New Dam Road. They did the spot shim, the paving on that. They've already billed the town for that. They haven't billed for Stone Hill Road yet, and that would be $110,334.70. And with the spot shim, that was an extra $72.50, so it's right around $117,284. We haven't got that bill yet, because they just did it Monday. And the shoulder gravel is gonna come in roughly around $32,000 for that road. So that's why I didn't wanna jump the gun and try to do a little more paving until we get all the shoulder gravel done, which, they still have to do New Dam Road and Stone Hill Road.
Are they doing the shouldering too?
Yes, yeah.
So then, so the ones that you want for next year, it's like, there's like a formula that,
Well, what I did was, I get a quote from Charlie Emerson from Carroll Materials, and we drove over the roads.
okay,
With the increase, it's a little more than, the 400,000 is probably more than what we're gonna need. But he says, I'd rather come in a little higher to cover for the shoulder gravel, because Watson, we're just reaching out and trying to, we take a ride around town and we base it on which roads were last paved. Some of them been 10 years, some have been 12 years, some have been 8 years. It depends on the condition of the road. Like the Johnson Road, it's a short road. It's in really rough shape halfway through. In Emery Corner Road, they did about 2/3 of it a few years back, and they never completed from the pump house up to the intersection of Sawyer's Mountain Road and Emery Corner Road. So we wanted to kind of fill that section of road and match it up, so the road's been updated, and it'll be good to go for quite a few years to come. Range E Road from Route 11 by the line school up to the top of the hill, 551, that road is deteriorating pretty bad. If you have a chance to take a ride up through there, you'll see it. The travel lane is getting beat pretty bad, and we've patched it a couple times. It would be nice to just, it would be nice to put like a 1.5 on there, and that would get us through probably another 10 years if we could do that section, because the rest of the road is holding up very well. Dole's Ridge Road, there's 2 sections that are undone, and we'd like to start from Route 11 and go towards the transfer station, just past the bridge, which is a short section, and there's another section down past the Sedgley Road that needs to be completed. And then that whole road will be pretty much in really good shape for a long time. Watson Hill Road, it's a pretty good section of road up through there, and it's holding out fairly well, but if we can catch it before it deteriorates anymore, it'll just preserve it for another, we try to get 10 years out of a paving job if we can prep it and make sure the ditches and the culverts are cleaned out and the tree branches are cut back. So this increase is quite a bit. If we have to drop that down a little bit, I'm gonna try to prioritize which roads need it the worst and focus on that.
Well, my question is, with about 110,000 outstanding still,
Yes.
there's just over 172,000, that's gonna leave 62,000 in there? Is it possible to carry that over again this year like we did last year?
Yes.
Yeah, we marked it,
With a special vote, you can, as a special warrant article, you can ask to carry over the 62,000, instead of just letting it go back into the general fund. You can carry it over.
well,
I think it's 6 one, half a dozen the other, I don't know.
I was gonna
It
say,
doesn't
so
really,
what would the difference be? I mean, if he's asking for more in the budget, and that goes back into the general fund, instead of having to earmark it and have a separate, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if it goes back into the general fund and then it just goes into his budget from the general fund, right? Isn't that?
for the following year, it does,
The
yeah,
following
I mean,
year.
those specific dollars don't move, but
But,
like, that doesn't, it's not saved for him, it goes
no,
back
it
to
goes in the general fund. We still gotta raise and appropriate.
It just creates your unexpended number, that will grow.
Right,
So, everything you don't spend this year goes in your unexpended balance and grows that $2.7 million number that we've talked about.
so last year we put the 54, because they didn't get it,
Because we knew the specific road that needed to be finished,
right.
right,
and there was a strong sentiment to hold those specific dollars over for that specific road.
right.
That's because we have an existing contract.
But the question I got is, they said they'd hold that price at 54 last year, and I think Ricky just said they come in at, what, 71?
Yeah, 71.
So how did that,
I think it was because of remember the ripple effect on the hill?
right, but they said they were gonna take care of it at $54,000. Everybody was here and agreed, 54, and that snuck through at 71.
Did their bill this year include the shoulders, the 71, or the shoulders on top of that?
I would have to, the paperwork I got from Julie said the carryover was 54, and then it says here the bill was 17,670.25. That was the bill, so that must have been including the shoulder gravel.
17 or 71?
The bill came in at 71,670.25, and it was over by 17,670.25.
So it's 54 plus the 17.
Yeah. But we'll have to find out if the shouldering was on top of that.
That's our purchase order?
Yes, I believe there was. I made it out. I made it. Purchase order.
So I guess my question was really like, what's the easy, I mean, if the money is here or here, which is the easier way to, the clearer way to do it? Have it go to an unexpended balance if it's there, or have it earmarked for his paving?
Budget for next year?
To me, I would just let the money fall back and give them the budget,
And then give them the
and
budget.
then who's ever sitting up there for select board next year needs to seriously consider using some of the unexpended money to offset taxes the way we did this year. I would like to, I mean, we ought to pull up the video of that, because he did stand there and say,
That's what I'm
we
saying.
asked about this road, and he was clear that the money we had set aside, the reason I asked about the shouldering was because I thought he said that was the road, but it would have to be shouldered.
Yeah.
Now, if there's 17,000 included the road and doing the shoulders, there you could find the difference. But if it was on top of that, the shouldering was more money, then I think we need to have a discussion with him and say, what, you know.
Well,
And the other thing is, somehow we gotta find this, we need to figure out what roads we're gonna do, and we need to put them out to bid. I don't care if you put them out to bid now for next year, or put them out January 1st, because they throw it back on us, and they say, you put your roads out to bid too late, and you get too far back on the schedule.
Mhm.
And that's
You-
exactly what they did last year.
This year, okay, so we throw it all on the table, you didn't finish the prep work on Stone Hill Road quick enough for that. Okay, that's what I was told, because I called them and said, why are we now again being thrown to the end of the list, like we were 2 years ago, and we were last year, and 2 years ago you couldn't even finish the roads, and last year you finished the one so late it had a ripple effect, it had to be redone. And I was told because it wasn't prepped quick enough. So we just need to, I think, we need to get them out to bid early and say, get us on the schedule, pending voter approval in March, and figure out the roads we're gonna do, and they gotta give us a price, and I know that it's gonna fluctuate based on the price of the items, whatever they put in it, but we need to go out to bid early, so they can't throw it back at us and say, you gave it to us too late.
yeah, and you're gonna bid it out to the major,
We always advertise it out, and put it out.
right. Yeah, because I'm saying, we went through everything last year fighting to keep that 54 sacred, save it, you know, so it wouldn't look like we want it, because we discussed about going up to 350 last year, and we said, look it, we've already done this.
You carried that over, that,
We carried it over on purpose, because other than that, it would have looked like the budget went up to 350. Okay, now it's going to 4, and if we take the 60 out of it, okay, it's really 340. Instead of that, everyone's just looking at that top figure, because every year, the budget committee has put a little more towards paving. We've been trying to keep up for the last 15 years, and we know that 300,000 probably doesn't even do a mile anymore by the time you're all done. I mean, that's the truth. It doesn't go as far as it used to, you know?
the
So,
way to stretch it is you don't put it as thick as they did years ago. Try to get a little more roads done.
yeah,
But like Stone Hill Road and New Dam Road, I spent a little extra time marking out some shimming because there was some wicked bad whoop-de-doos in the road, and we got most of them out, same as Stone Hill Road. But if it's done right,
Technical.
take your time, we can do quite a bit of paving and still do an awesome job by just cutting back a little bit on the mix, so.
and I think the other thing, you know, 4 years ago, the select board was there, the budget committee, and Carroll Materials come up and talked about the chip sealing. And they're doing it all throughout New Hampshire, and they're saying it adds 7, 8 years onto an existing road if it's not all broken. And that's gotta be something that we've gotta start looking at on some of
Is that
this.
what they did on Quarry Road for the first half mile?
I
as a
don't know.
test? Yeah, I would,
Didn't like it?
what's that?
All the towns up around here for years always run the chip seal.
Yeah, well, it's a new thing that they're bringing over, but like all the towns in New Hampshire and stuff are all using it, but it can't be a main road, all right? Now, Quarry Road's kinda tough because of all the trucks.
And I know they did it for free as a test.
Yes, oh yeah, yeah. But there's a lot, I'm just saying, it's something that they say they can put over an existing road and get another 7, 8 years out of it. It's just something to talk to them. They came and gave the presentation, you know
I
what I
think that
mean?
you'll find that that didn't work out quite as well as they
Okay.
planned.
All right,
If it goes on Quarry Road, it should go on every other road in Limerick, because we're just as good as every other road. and it's horrible.
And at some point, if you look at it, capital stuff, at some point, we're gonna look at paving some of the dirt roads. We got a lot of unpaved roads that are town roads.
No.
that-
Well, we put this, 4 years ago, we put money in, we extended Sawyer Mountain Road, right?
Yes.
So every year, we put some in there to extend some dirt roads. So you're right, but we've got to have a list of what we got, and, you know, we got to start somewhere. But we did that up there on
They
Sawyer's.
did the hill,
Yeah.
both the hills on Sawyer's Mountain Road, because it was just a mess. And by paving the hill, it's actually
Well, it's saved from the grading every
worked out
storm.
very well, yep.
I mean, you know, there's benefits to it.
Can't remember, it was along by the hill paved. There's a lot of buildings up in there now.
There
A
is.
lot of traffic on there.
It'd be nice to pick one of those roads, price it from front to back, from one end to the other, and put it on a separate warrant article to come out of undesignated or the capital reserve, depending on the number, and see if the town wants to move forward with paving, let the townspeople decide, and see if they want to get some of these.
Well, if every year we did a little bit, and that's what we should do. You
Even
know?
if you had to phase it, do just a section.
Yeah.
And then the following year, maybe wrap it up.
But nothing against you, but most of the companies now, if you say, hey, we want to do that, they'll give us a price to grade it, gravel it, and do the whole package.
You do nothing more than just put a base on it.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's just, you know. Yeah. Yeah, so we could have a separate article for that.
Huh?
We can have a separate article for that.
Repaving, for the paving of new roads, yes. or
Dirt roads, unpaved.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah, that's opened up.
Yeah, 'cause Louis the only one out there, isn't he?
Lucian. Yeah.
Lucian,
So we might want to take the most popular roads with it, most
Well,
vehicles.
like you said, Lombard Hill Road, there's a lot of houses on that
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I mean,
And we've kept it up into shape. There's a few people that reach out to us when because they just moved a brand-new modular home in there, so. And then for the past probably 10 years, there's have to be at least 10 houses on that road.
Yep.
Actually, there's Roll Road, that's not paved.
no, that's dirt.
So, it's quite a long stretch going up through there.
All right.
Yeah, Rural Road's not bad, but Lombard Hill Road, that's a little bit of a hike up through there, you're right.
That's got probably a little bit of crack, quite a bit of crack probably.
You got a couple of nice hills on there that need to be improved a little bit before you do anything. But the base would be fine, that would work good.
And the drainage. A lot of money getting put in there.
But if you stop and think about it a minute, if you do, let's say you pick a dirt road, we all agree on it, it's gonna save, on the long run, maintenance, aggregate, time. so-
Grading.
Yeah,
That's why we did,
exactly.
that's why we did Sawyer's, because every rainstorm, they were up there grading and hauling in crushed gravel, and if you add what that expense was,
And there's what, I think there's 4 or 5 houses up there now.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we did a lot of ditching on that too over the years.
it's held up pretty well.
all right. I guess the only other question I got is to the select board, because you got the 2.75 COLA, which everybody's taken, and then he has 6.75 for a raise.
I think that was last year's budget, right? Did you put a 6.75% raise in this year?
No, two,
That was last year's budget, it says
okay.
2025.
So 2.75,
2.7, yeah. Let's do,
right, okay.
So we can cross that off. Because I thought it was a note for this year's too.
So the 56 is,
That wasn't for this year, right?
What's that?
Well, it says beside, the 56,000, for the payroll, okay? And then you skip over 2.75 COLA and 6.75 raise.
I didn't put in for a raise on that.
Well, it shows on all our sheets, that's all, okay. So it's 2.75.
Is that 2 point,
It's actually 2.8,
Okay, well,
Right.
that
whatever.
on top of the 51 from this year?
right, which would actually be 52,551.
Yeah, that's a 9% increase total there.
Okay, that's what I'm,
What is
that
the
note-
6.7?
I think that note is correct, because that would add up to 9%.
But that might have just been a mistake from last year if he wasn't putting in for that. Maybe last year's budget went up like that, I can't remember last
no,
year.
that's, that. Are you saying, John, that's,
If last year's 51,120 is correct,
yeah,
and this year's asked for 56,070,
right,
that's 9%.
right.
And if you take 2.75 and 6.75, add them together, my math is 9%.
Yep.
So,
That's my question to the select board. Is it just the 2.75, and that's what Ricky just said? So I'm just saying with the 6.75 that we've got on our sheets.
Yeah, I
It's
have it on my sheet
confusing.
too. I think it's a question for the,
3% cap, right?
it's a question for the person who's submitting the budget. If
Well,
he's
no, I just asked him. He
6.7.
said he didn't put that in, but I'm just wondering how it got put
Then I
on the
assume it
paper.
was a mistake.
Okay.
What's the mistake, the 56,000?
The 6.75% for this year too. If he's saying he didn't put it in,
But the number
I
plays it
know.
off, so we'll put the $56,000 number there.
I think when me and Alicia were going over this paperwork here, I think we based it on an average of I think we based it on between the cost of living and the other increases down the board. I think
Do
that's,
you submit your hours every week,
yes.
or do you get a paycheck every week for the same amount?
No, I submit my time.
Yes, it's ours.
Yeah.
So it's not really, it shouldn't even be listed as a salary. Right?
it just says payroll.
Oh, it says payroll.
Just say
Okay.
payroll. Yeah, no, that's all right.
So that's fine, so, all right.
All right, so we're going with the 2.8 you just said?
Mhm.
So what's it calculate?
Well, but if it's in there, it's because he thinks that the workload's getting more. I mean, I don't know if we're just, if it was a straight up salary, I can understand doing a 2.75,
Right,
right? But he's talking about his workload being up and more work to do, and I know that's not just him, I know there's other people that come out of that. If the workload's going up, then maybe he needs the $56,000. And 2.75, if he's getting paid $20 an hour, then you add 2.75 to the $20,
right,
and that's what he'd get next year
right,
as an hourly rate,
right,
because that's what we've agreed to.
right.
But if he needs to up this because there is more workload, there's gonna be more hours worked, then we just can't throw it out because we've said 2.75. 2.75, if we only give him that, his workload's gonna come down. So, or his hours, we've not gonna have enough to cover the difference, so. It's the entire payroll line, so that's not a salary. So I would say, if that's what he feels he needs because there's extra work, at what? Leave it right there.
So is this a 45-hour work week? Is that what's going on, or a 50-hour work week?
I'm sure there's some weeks he works 100, there's probably some weeks he works 10, but it depends on what's going on. It's not based on a typical work week, because he doesn't have one.
I think he works more than 10 a week.
Well, I said some weeks he might work 100, I was being facetious both ways, so.
Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
It's not a 9 to 5 job, you can say,
Yeah.
he's only out on the roads
'Cause
40 hours a week.
The pay scale is the state wages plus or whatever. So,
You know, that's
It is.
another area we have to look at. And
Well,
telling you that-
I'm just wondering why it's there,
Why was
okay?
that?
The 6.75, when you're saying everybody's supposed to be 3% or whatever the select board, 3.5,
Because,
Anything other than the wages.
okay.
well, no, the wages, we want the wages to stay at the COLA, that's what we said.
Right.
Unless there's a reason.
And 3% on everything else.
And 3% of
Right,
everything.
okay.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying, we were saying the 275 plus the 3, and then that's why I asked the 6.75.
That's
So-
what,
It's like half, right?
that's not an increase in work, in pay, it's
Not
an
in-
increase in hours. It's an increase in
Right.
workload.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Do you get a paycheck weekly,
No,
bi-weekly?
No,
no, I turn in my time,
whatever hours he
Okay,
does.
'cause
I fill out a payroll.
again, it's showing that 50% of the budget from last year is unexpended.
Unexpended.
There we go.
What's that?
So,
It's showing that that you've only been paid $24,000 so far this year, and there's $26,000 left in the budget.
that's next week's pay.
I
What,
I think,
when you look at the equipment, where's the we don't have that, so I'm just curious about like the equipment lines.
The equipment lines are
Heavy duties.
heavy duties like
Heavy duty, yeah.
107%, and light duty is 95%.
So some of that probably belongs in salary. But this is an area we gotta take a look at, that light duty and heavy duty. So when you bring in,
Light duty equipment,
no, heavy, you bring in an excavator.
Yep.
You charge for that by the hour.
yes,
Do you know what the cost is roughly?
like $147 an hour,
$147 an hour.
but
That, go ahead,
the-
sorry.
the little machine is only 70.
All right, so let's take the little machine,
Yep.
$70 an hour.
Yep.
That includes the operator.
Yes, it does.
So when you bill for that, and you run that 10 hours, you bill $700. That,
So that includes the pay too.
No, that's-
that
and then-
includes the pay for the operator.
right.
Right.
So it's not, so let's say you go out and run that mini excavator for 10 hours
Right.
yourself. You bill for those 10 hours.
Right.
You don't bill an additional 10 hours on the salary line.
No, but I bill for foreman, because I'm on the job overseeing everything.
Yep.
But no, that equipment is included with the operator.
And we're gonna get pinched on that because we're not taking payroll. We're taking no payroll out of it. When we pay that $70 an hour, maybe it's $50 for the guy and 20 for the machine, or 50 for the machine and 20 for the guy. We've never taxed, we don't tax that, that doesn't come out like payroll, and it really should. Or, in this case, they should at least be getting a 1099
I was gonna say,
for
independent
the
contractor.
equipment piece of it, and then they can handle the payroll, but we're paying wages and not taxing them.
Right, because we're paying the state guideline for it, and the state pays their guy all day,
Yeah,
and that's,
and the state pays an hourly rate.
right,
Part of that belongs to the equipment,
Yep.
and part of it belongs to the,
I would think
now,
the
if he brings
1099
out-
would be the way.
if he
to
brings
go.
out a chainsaw and charges $5 an hour for that chainsaw, that's just a saw, and he's gonna charge his hours for himself to
Right,
run it,
run it.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay. But in this bigger equipment, where we're paying $70 to $140 an hour, there's money in there that is wages that either need to be taxed or 1099.
I would say 1099, just in my,
But are they private people that we're contracting with?
Sometimes. It's not just you guys, right?
No, there's
Some, somebody else may bring their dump truck in,
oh, yeah.
and they get paid,
Next door,
yeah. lots of guys.
Scott Parity helped me mow side the road. We got Charles, my brother. Whoever's available that we can lean on to help out.
So it's, you're not going to companies
No,
and, okay, so.
no, they're all
they should be
private
getting
contractors, like,
1099s.
we're all private contractors, yeah.
right, but they pay taxes.
We all get paperwork at the end of the year for what we,
Right,
From the
right, so
town.
that, yeah, it's just for us with the operator of his equipment.
Just to clarify, where's the cutoff date on, let's say, excavators, heavy duty and light duty?
they go by weight.
Wait,
And
Yeah.
John, you said the question about the workload, that's what was brought up when we were going over this together with Alicia.
And change.
She said that your workload is gonna increase
Yes.
with everything else coming up in the ensuing year,
So
which,
you need more for it, so that's why that
So,
goes up.
I-
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was trying to figure that out, but you're right, that,
So that 56,000 stays the same?
Yeah.
I had a question about the power equipment line. I remember vaguely discussing that at another meeting, but there's nothing in the proposed budget, but we had like 800 spent last year.
mhm.
Did that get folded into some other line item, or?
That was brought up, and the only thing I can think of as power equipment would be like tree pruning or power saws or anything like
Yeah.
that, but to be honest with you, for $5 an hour, I don't even write it down. If I need my chainsaw for 20 minutes or half an hour cutting up stuff side the road, at the end of the day, if I run it for 2 hours, I just put in for 2 hours, because you just can't just keep doing like 15-minute increments, and so I just say, hey, you know, we were out here for 8 hours, but we used the power saw for a total of 2, so that's what we bill for.
Okay.
But no, this right here, last year, I believe it was $810 in the power equipment category. There's nothing in it this year.
Yeah.
What other, roads have you got to finish striping on? You got $4,000 in last year.
You mean what I'm proposing for next year?
Is there any roads we haven't striped, or?
Yeah, Stone Hill Road, we didn't do that because they just paved it. I missed my window on that. If there is, I would like to put the white lines on the Burnham Road and the white lines on Stone Hill Road and see what that's gonna come in at. I want him to give me a ballpark on what we're looking for next year, so I can incorporate another road. I don't know, I like lines and stripes, because it's a lot safer at night on them foggy nights, that's all. We can't do all the roads, but the main arteries and the roads that,
And I haven't looked, if we get any major roads, well,
Enterprise.
arterials that aren't striped?
no,
Emery Common Road, is that striped?
no. I mean, they're all busy roads, I mean, we're getting more and more traffic all the time, but between Dole's Ridge Road, Rangy, Burnham Road.
Enterprise.
Oh my gosh, yes, yeah. I think that was one road that was supposed to be striped, was Enterprise, exactly. That's a real busy road.
Well, I
But
think-
everybody's using a secondary road to kind of stay out of town, you know what I mean? They're using Foss Road, they're using Rangy, so they don't use Route 11. Dole's Ridge Road, Enterprise, it's just a cutoff, it's a shortcut, you know, from Route 5 to Dole's Ridge.
So all your paving trucks and stuff pretty much go up Enterprise Road too.
To eliminate the hill and going through the village, yeah.
I mean, I think from a safety standpoint, as a professional driver, the more roads you can stripe.
Absolutely.
do it.
Rick, are they on the yellow lines? You know, a lot of the towns are just putting one line now down the middle, so they can get twice as many.
Yeah, I thought about that too, but
Well, I know, but it's a lot of,
roads that already had double yellow lines, we kind of want to
yeah.
maintain that, but
Which is good.
I hear you, even one line would be better than none.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you can go to, like I said, Alfred for years has done
Yeah.
one line.
And we might have to
No-
do
Nobody
that.
pays attention to the double yellow line for no passing, all right? So you might as well,
Just saying the
throw-
same
you
thing.
might as well throw that out.
Nobody pays
We could
attention
get
to
twice
double
as many
yellow.
roads
We
with,
might have to do that just to gain,
you know, like I said, a lot of the towns that I deal with in my industry, that's what they go with, so they can get more done. And, you know, for some of these ones, you don't have the fog lines on, that yellow line is, you know,
That-
all they can look
it's
at.
going to help, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's something.
exactly.
All right, so do we want to leave the 400 on the paving, or are we gonna deduct the 62.
We still got shoulder gravel to do on both these roads, so
So that's not a true
that
thing.
number is gonna, he said within 2 weeks, we'll be doing the shoulder gravel on New Dam Road and Stone Hill.
Tell them to speed it up a week.
Well,
I got snow in 2 weeks.
They're on a crunch too, so.
Yeah. Right.
So so the shoulder gravel on Stone Hill Road will be right around, I got $32,000 on that. And New Dam. I can get you a rough, but, you know, it's gonna come in close to another 50 on the paving with all the shoulder gravel being put down. So whatever we have for a balance with paving Stone Hill and add 50 to that, that's what we're gonna have. So whatever's left
So
over.
we'll have 5 to 10 left,
We'll have some money left over, yes.
minimum.
Going back to the mowing, brushing, you looked into those vertical mows,
Yes.
you're talking about the money to get one of those in here to, because they can be pretty efficient.
They are.
Well, Leamington did it, what, 3,000?
Leamington has a machine.
Yeah, they
I
bought.
know, but I'm just saying,
Arrowhead used to rent one.
I suppose it went out there with a chainsaw.
Yeah, that's why we're going with that's why my brother with the excavator, with the mulching head on it, did that, and Scott did some last year with his, and, you know, it's more money, but it's better than bending over the chainsaw and lugging brush to a chipper too, so. But yeah, that sickle bar, it goes on the bucket of your tractor, and you can go down the road, cut all the overhanging whips, up to 2 inches, I believe.
Makes a god-awful mess, though. They did it in lack.
It
This
does.
stuff's not hanging out, like some of the roads right now, we got stuff that's really.
Hanging out into the road.
That's why it took us a little longer to get Stone Hill prepped, because all the branches that got mowed from that machine, we ditched it after, so we got to clean the brush up, all the debris, and ditch at the same time, so you're right, it does make a mess. I mean, there's just branches everywhere.
But after a while, it dissolves the wood. So. Next plow contract, you want a chainsaw on the end of the wing. That'll solve it all.
Do you sell those?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
No.
Comments, concerns? All right, I would entertain a
Motion to
motion to
adjourn.
adjourn. Second. All in favor?
We're not gonna go with these other ones?
No, because they're not here.
Well,
Have you guys contacted the
the only,
ACO or whatever it is?
An email here,
Oh, you
Should be
did?
attached to your stuff.
you attach your stuff.
the email?
The reason for a 7% increase on the salary was she's doing a
Well,
lot.
that was my
Oh.
question. Do you, so, from 2024, we got this, the incident report. Do you get these? Does somebody,
I'm gonna be honest with you, I had met her once in my 3 years on the board,
okay.
and that was at the public
Yeah,
hearing.
it's on the board office, you do.
We typically get it for the annual town report.
Because, I mean, according to the email, it says the cost of living and also being busier than we have been. I mean, is there any documentation?
She issues her mileage report, there is a call on
Okay. And who does that go to?
Julie?
Julie for payroll and then us for the warrants.
If you look at it, when her mileage comes in, you look at it, it has all the list of all the calls.
Okay.
My suggestion would be to hold off on that one, see if we can't get the information to see, so we can base it on, have something to base it on
Well,
versus,
because again, I'm looking at, from 2024, there was 142 total calls. it's less than 3 a week. I don't know.
I mean, you could ask for the payroll report, to ask Julie to get out her mileage report so that she'll where she's going. Might not be a bad.
Because, yeah, maybe she asked for a substantial increase in mileage, too.
Yeah, but she could send us a report like that.
Who?
The report we got in 24 there.
You could ask the ACO to do it, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it doesn't look like we're going to see her.
All right, so I will reach out to her and see if she can put together a report, or I'll reach out to Julie to get the information.
Okay. And then just the other thing on recreation, it doesn't, I don't think we're.
Greg's gonna be here next week.
Oh, he is gonna come?
He had a prior
Oh,
engagement
okay.
tonight,
I
so
thought that he was, is he done? Is he
he
still?
will be.
Okay, so I didn't know if he was just gonna, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead with your motion.
All right, is that it for you?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to come in and talk to us about your budget. We really appreciate it. All right. Motion to adjourn?
Already a motion seconded and
Oh. All right. All in favor of,
Yes, please.
motion carried. Have a good night.
So next week we're doing fire department, right?
In theory, we have not gotten the fire department budget.
He said,
Did you receive that?
77 miles.